It starts with
one thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I'm designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know or wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Hey, Ham! Haven't seen you since before the holidays. Just the usual again today? Another 6-hour session with the usual suspects?
Hey Dom, I don't know man, I'm just so bored of everything. I maxed all my skills a long time ago. I got my quest, diary, and achievement capes back again. Let me tell you, manually crafting all the Sunfire runes necessary for the Varlamore Elite diary was worse than any nightmare you can offer me in this place. I also just got my Zuck helm back again for the 12th time, and I'm feeling a little burnt out. I was excited for the big 25th anniversary event today, but that only took a few minutes. Just another year of reminiscing over nostalgia for days gone by. You know, I really miss those days when I arrived here a quarter century ago. I really wish there were a way to relive them all, do it all over again.
What? I think you're taking for granted all the new stuff that's around right now. What about the sailing skill?
New? What do you mean, new? I got this cape on my back from Ned in Draenor Village a year and a half ago.
Oh, I see. Well, what about the new Fremennik sailing raid? The Winds of Ragnarok.
Well, I just finished getting the ornament kit for V's Mjolnir by completing the raid with all myths enabled, and just got done saying I got my Zuck helm back again after finally completing the last of Lady Nonok's combat achievements there. Let's just say that his expectations are a lot harsher than Gommel's ever were, may he rest in peace. If I ever set sail on that raid again, it will be too soon.
Alright, well, if you're looking for a new quest, I hear the Cook in Lumbridge Castle is having more problems again after you defeated the Color Romancer?
Thanks for the reminder. I almost forgot to tell you, I completed my 200th quest last month and earned these shiny new Barrows boots, and now we have some new friends to add to the list today.
Alright, we can add those to the list of repeatable bosses later since you're so bored of doing the same thing over and over again. In the meantime, perhaps I could interest you in a new offering altogether.
Oh? And what might that entail?
So I was on a trip home to Lunar Isle for the holidays. My father was disappointed in me as always, that I didn't follow him into banking. And he's never gonna let me live it down that I didn't get around to building that tower. I tried telling him that there's plenty of demand for my business even without the tower, and that some adventurers like you pay to spend 6 straight hours here every day.
Oh, yeah, I guess I do.
Well, please feel free to tell him that next time you're visiting his bank, but I stormed off to see my mother at the Astral Altar instead. It's no wonder she left him. On my way there, I noticed a guy in a fedora and a trench coat with an unkempt beard accosting one of the island gardeners near the dock about wafers or something.
Well, did you intervene?
Yeah, I did. Normally, when something like this happens, we used to just teleport the offending party back to Relica. But after your adventures in the Fremennik Trials, Isles, Exiles, and recent Thalassophiles quests, we don't dump our garbage in Relica anymore. So I tried to send him to the wilderness. But when I did it, something must have gone wrong, because a mysterious stranger teleported in his place.
How did that happen? I suspect there was a rupture in the abyss that crossed paths between 2 teleports at the same time. I remember that used to happen to me occasionally until 11 or 12 years ago. I thought the wizards fixed that.
Okay, that's exactly what happened. He told me he was teleporting somewhere when he found himself in a sub-room of the Abyssal Network with 4 levers and chose incorrectly. So I sent him to our island randomly at the same time I teleported the foul creature away. I told him I could help recalibrate his teleport and sent him on his way. To thank me before he left, he gave me this device that can augment dreams to make them feel real. It can even make your wishes come true in your dreams. I feel like it's worth a try in the Nightmare Zone if you're looking for a new challenge.
I would be lying if I said I weren't very interested in trying this, but don't you think it's just a little suspicious that he happened to teleport right in front of you, a master of dreams, with a device that can make dreams, or perhaps nightmares, come true? Especially while blaming it on an issue that's been fixed for over a decade?
I thought they fixed that too, so I did make it over to see my mother at the Astral Altar and intended to ask her about it, but well, you know, we didn't really get around to it, thinking about that since she had some other things on her mind. You'd think it wouldn't really be an issue being the son of a mind reader and all that, but even I couldn't get a thought in edgewise. In any case, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather trust to investigate this. Would you be willing to test it out to see if it's safe for other customers to use?
Well, maybe. It could be dangerous. I guess it depends. What's in it for me?
You adventurers are always just in it for the rewards. How about your future sessions with me are all free, and you can drink as much of the absorption and overload potions as you want from now on?
Deal. No takebacks.
No, wait, that deal's too good. Everyone, he's finally awake.
What just happened?
You very nearly died, and certainly would have had we not intervened. I'm afraid you made some sort of wish that awoke a grave evil that this council was long ago created to stop.
Thank you for saving me, but what does this evil want with me? I have no shortage of enemies I've made in saving the world, no different from you and your many adventures, I'm sure. And what wish?
It appears that the evil was present in that device and waiting for a sufficiently powerful adventurer from whom to steal their abilities, skills, wealth, and equipment. You were the perfect target, but it wasn't personal. Unfortunately, in doing so, all of the evil that you had previously rid the world from has returned to their corporeal forms to wreak havoc on the world yet again. You wished for this when you wanted to relive those glory days. And I'm afraid you're gonna stand no chance in your current state.
That's horrible. How am I meant to stop them all again if I have no power and no weapons anymore? Even if I had all of my skills and equipment, there's no way I could possibly stop them all again at once.
Well, that's just it, Ham. The key is in your wish. The last time this council met was nearly 2 decades ago, and we had to freeze time for 5 years. Have you ever found it strange that time suddenly jumped 5 years from 2007 to 2013, and yet nothing had happened? That was all us. The last time this evil rose, we had to reset time to a safe starting point. The entity created a dimension of disaster. It was too powerful to stop, so we created an alternate timeline before the evil was able to rise. Until now, it was effectively banished to a dystopian alternate reality. The only way to stop this evil and all of its new allies it freed from you is for you to get your wish.
My wish? The one I made to live all my adventures again from the beginning? That was more of an offhand comment than a wish.
Unfortunately, it doesn't matter since you still spoke the words. Now you must return to the beginning of your adventure 25 years ago and start all over. Learn to master your skills and defeat all of your old enemies once again. Eris has carefully assembled a list of tasks that you completed in the past. It's imperative that you complete all, or at least most, of these yet again to avoid any issues with traveling back in time.
And what if I don't?
You wouldn't want to meddle with the timeline or create a paradox that could destroy us all. Your actions will inevitably cause things to end up slightly, but not drastically, different from how they actually happen. But it's imperative you recomplete these tasks and defeat these evil creatures once again to save the world.
Well, how could I possibly say no? I have no power, no equipment, no anything. I'll need some help if I'm gonna land on my feet again to stop them all and this mysterious stranger before it's too late.
Well, luckily for you, we have just the solution. With the collective power of the council, we can make time appear to move at least 5 times faster for you, possibly even faster, the more tasks you complete. We can also double your luck in seeking rare, powerful items you'll need on your journey, perhaps making you even luckier as you complete more tasks. This should help you relearn your skills and abilities faster, as well as more quickly reobtain your equipment. We can also grant you the choice of some special abilities that you didn't have before to truly aid you in your quest by using some Living Relics.
Well, that sounds like a plan then, but where exactly are we right now anyway?
This is the Black Hole, a safe place for us to gather outside of time. You can return here to visit the Council anytime through the false floor hidden below Eris's crystal ball in Varrock Square.
And who were those guys standing there with this great evil before we escaped? I could barely see them with everything going on.
You may remember Duriel 321 from the Valador Massacre 20 years ago. In the middle was Jimmy Dazzler, a contact of yours from the Rat Catcher's Quest who sent you to break in and catch rats at a mansion with guards that had 360-degree binocular vision. And finally, on your right was V, the ancient hero of the Fremennik, whom you may better remember as the final boss from the Fremennik sailing raid, the Winds of Ragnarok.
An honorless player killer? The Rat Catcher's Mansion guy? And the founder of runecrafting? Count me in for some revenge against these sadistic sociopaths. Now, how am I supposed to travel back in time by a quarter of a century?
You don't have to do anything. Just let us work our magic. Now, before we send you back, there's some things you should know.
What's that?
We've changed some things around in the past to make your journey a little bit easier from how it actually happened in 2001. You'll notice that certificates and their limitations have been replaced by more accessible and more universal banknotes that you're more familiar with. Certers who used to serve this function may still exist with new but related business models. Death will not carry as harsh of a punishment. You can run everywhere, even though that was previously outlawed by King Rold until 2004. The gods will no longer force you to face your enemies in combat for at least 3 rounds at a time, and there will also be plenty of other differences that you'll just have to discover on your own.
Basically, Ham, you're playing in old school RuneScape rather than classic.
Got it. All those changes should be a big help.
Good to hear. Although Dominic here is a master of the Oniric arts, he is not actually a part of this council. Nevertheless, you two are both permanently involved now, so he will be your guide. Now go save the world.
Alright, let's use the default character appearance here, since that's what we've looked like for the last 25 years anyway. Character type is a more difficult decision here. I feel more like a jack of all trades, so adventure probably makes the most sense. However, on the off chance that this really is 2001, ranged is definitely the weakest combat style, and I'll need that buff, so let's go with that. Oh man. For as fun as those old clan wars were between the Sabers, the Messiahs, the Gladiators, the Wanderers, and the Black Knights, I feel like I have bigger priorities here. Maybe we'll find a war to fight in later, but for now, let's go ahead and disable PvP. There's no way this is really the past. There's Hans. He'll remember me and how long I've been here. So, Hans, you remember when we first met, right?
Yeah, that's right. You arrived today? Just now, in fact.
No, that's not right. I met you here 25 years ago. Don't you remember?
No. Today's my first day on the job at the castle here. I've only just met you, and I was hired specifically because I remember everyone. Also, I'm only 20 years old.
Alright, that's it. I'm gonna kill everyone in this castle. Help! Help! Oh, this isn't really 2001, is it?
Things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept...
Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?